Hello again and welcome back. My name's Annie and this is my creative detour. Today we're going to have a flip through my February journal that I made out of an old calendar for the collab called Junk Journal Madness, run by Susan over at iturtleyloveit. So this is my 5th video in this series, and I will link the playlist to the other 4 videos down below, and the playlist is called Junk Journal Madness 2026, and you'll be able to have a look at those other episodes if you haven't seen them. So let's get started. Today we're going to flip all the way through, but I'm going to focus mostly on my new pages that I have created since seeing you last week. And we'll also load up some of our ephemera here. I've got a bit of a pile of ephemera that I've made, or I've pulled out of my stash to load up the journal. So it's kind of a flip and load episode. So you can see that it's nice and chunky, but it's going to get chunkier, and we'll open it up and get started. So we've got a policy closure, and I wanted a policy closure so that it could expand. Now, when I'm showing you this, it's not all going to fit in the view, but I will just slide it up and back for you to be able to see it. So we've got that there. Now I have got a list here where I have ticked off the materials that I've used, and you can see that I have definitely done more than 7. I might write number 7 on here, 7 required, and you can see that I've definitely used more than 7, and we need 7 on this one for items that we make, and you can see that I have definitely done that. So we'll pop that to the side. You can see that I've more than covered what I needed to for the requirement for the month, and that will free up my table a little bit. All right, we looked at this page in another episode. We did some stenciling on it, and I've got a window in it, an acetate window that I have stamped on as well. So I won't rehash that one. The only thing that I've done differently with that is that I have put some white splatters onto it. The next one, I've put a little bit of gold splatter onto this, and I have a tiny little tag to tuck into this tuck spot here, and we have a journaling card, and I think I made these journaling cards in episode 3, so you can have a look at those. So we'll slide that in, and they're just blank on the back. So that page is done, and this one, I'm not sure whether you had seen that one. I think that you saw this one, but I've got just another one to put into this hidden pocket. So I've got a couple of hidden pockets there, and that's just 2 hidden pockets by the way that I folded my page in the calendar. The next one is another journaling card just to slide into this little pocket, and I did that with you. On here I've just put some gold splatters and a little bit of boo-boo tape. I think that one's actually one that I used sticky tape and put alcohol marker on it. Here we have just another pocket, and I've got a printable that has got a library card pattern on it. It's blank on the back, and I've just stamped it with some stamps, and I've just done a little bit of stamping up here and put some more sticky tape with alcohol marker on it. So we'll slide that in there just so there's a little library card to do some writing on. And this one here, I haven't done any changes on that. I did that one and showed you in another episode. Okay, this one here, I've done a few things to it. We have a journaling card. I'm not sure whether you've seen this journaling card. I used book page of an illustration of a dissected flower. And you can see there's all the little illustrations of the dissected flower. I've then used a printable and put a flower on it and done a little bit of stamping and a little bit of washi. And it's blank on the back. And then I've just hid it with a little bit of white splatter. So we'll slide that one into that hidden pocket. I'm liking all the hidden secret pockets in this journal. And I have used a digital by Double Helix with the ladies with the flowers on their head and created a little tab. You can see the little tab here, and it slides out. So it's a little hidden portrait journaling card, and the tab just takes it out of the frame. This frame here I made in another video last year sometime, and I created those frames out of masterboards. So if you head to my Junk Journal Gestures playlist, which will be linked below, there's lots of ephemera in there that I have made over the last year. Okay, so then this one here you've seen as well. I think I did this one on camera, but I've made a few little tags actually, and I've used some of my faux stamps on them and just created some little tags with stamps that say Australia, 15 cents. So we'll pop those into this page, and they just slide in here. So some more hidden spots to journal. And I have just put a little cluster here of some washi and some printable and a label that I've stamped on. And we have a faux postcard that I made. I made a lot of postcards last year, and there's a video on that as well. You'll be able to watch that in the Junk Journal Gestures playlist as well, if you're interested in how I make my postcards out of magazine images. And then this was one of the ones that I did with you with stamping and stenciling. So I just have a postcard to slide into this pocket. So that's not new. And I have just a little page out of a gardening book. I've made a little envelope out of it, and I'm going to slide this little envelope. You can see that it's purely just a little bit of washi and a page out of a book. I'm going to slide that under this belly band. So there we go. That's a nice little spot to store a few bits and pieces. And then we have our postage stamp collector's card that we made last week, and we did a policy closure page. So that one's already there, and it's got our postage stamp on it, my faux postage stamp that I made. I made quite a lot of those. And some of you have watched my latest video where I make a variation of these. But if you're wanting to know how I make my stamps, it is a faux stamp video, and it will be in the Junk Journal Gestures, a playlist that will be below. And then we have our policy page that we did together, and it has a pocket here, and it also has a pocket here. I'm not going to put anything in that pocket. I don't want to fill every single spot, because I will gift this journal to somebody and they will be able to put some of their own bits and pieces in it. And I have another postcard that I've done some doodling on, and we'll slide that in there. I think that's a better flower one for this journal. I'll close that up. Our next page is a new page. And you can see that it is purely just a decorative page. It has a printable in the background, and I think it's got like a list of different product numbers or measurements or something like that on it. And I'm pretty sure I got this as a printable from Margaret. I have some washi here and down the bottom, and I also have some scrapbook paper, some old retired Stampin' Up! Scrapbook paper. I fussy cut out this lovely image of a flower. Oh, I think I have the label here. It's a primula. Let's put that on, actually. So while I'm saying what I used, I'll glue that on. And I also have a few labels there. I've got the numbers one is from J. Lee Lou on Etsy. I use quite a few of her digitals. I really like her as an artist. And the other label is from Margaret from one of her digital packs. I have quite a lot of 7 Plaza digitals, so they all kind of get grouped together, unfortunately, and mixed up a little bit. I try to keep the packs separate in different plastic sleeves, but it doesn't always happen. They then get mixed up when you're in a bit of a frenzy to, get things made. So I'm just going to stick that on. Let's stick it here, the Primula label out of the book. And then the next page, you might be thinking, oh, Annie, that's a bit boring. And it is, because I have made one of my circle wrap and stack hidden paper clips. Now this is a bit of a mixture of the circle one and the flower one. You can see also that I have used some of my wallpaper flowers, my handmade flowers, and there's a video on how to make those as well. So both of these, the hidden paper clip and the flower, there's a video for how to make both of them in my junk journal gestures that will be linked below. Now you can see also that I have put a doily on it. And when I made these, quite a few people commented and said, oh, Annie, this would look good with a doily on it. Well, there you go. It looks lovely with a doily, and I purposely put a background scrapbook paper that was quite dark so you would be able to see the doily. And I got this from my latest haul. Now, when you flip it over, you can see that this side here is one way round, and then the other side is upside down. And that's because I have a flip journal that is a waterfall, and it needs to go a certain way on different pages. So let's slide the paper clip on. You can see that it just opens up and it slides on, and like I said, it's a hidden paper clip, and when it goes onto the page, the paper clip holds it in place. It looks lovely there. I've also got just a little card to stick in there as a journaling spot. So there we go. And down the bottom here, I just have some more of those measurements and some washi. And when we flip it over, you can see that it's the right way round on this side. And I have just used a little bit of scrapbook paper again, and this is all out of the same collection from Stampin' Up. I'm not sure what it was, but it's quite a few years old. And then I've used some book page and put a little bit of gesso on it. So we'll tuck in another library card into the back of there. It's actually a double tuck spot, so there's a tuck here and a tuck here. And this page here, I showed you that in episode number 3, and it's got some nice fabric on it, and done quite a bit of stenciling and different textures on that one. So that one's not new. And then we have our last pages where we have another policy closure. So how I made this page was I put down some music paper first, and then I did some serviette and glued some serviette pattern onto it, and then I put on my circle. I just put a circle that I had cut. I have lots of circles cut, and then I used some Tim Holtz collage paper and put on, I think this is actually out of his Christmas one, where it's got the pine cones and the berries and things like that. But I took out the bits that said December on it because I wanted the intensity of the black to be on there. And then this is a little bird from Double Helix, from one of their digitals on Etsy. And then when you open it up, I have a document folder, and this is just some more music paper, some scrapbook paper, and then I fussy cut out some flowers off of some wrapping paper. And this is where I'm going to store my February pages and checklists from the challenge. So I wanted a document folder in it, so they will fold and sit in there and stay tucked in there. So we'll close that up, put a little bit of twine on that. And then our last page, you can see they all get worked together. It has some scrapbook paper on the back. It has a belly band, and this is just some cardstock with some of that same washi that I've been using a little bit throughout the journal. I like to carry over something that's got circles on it to repeat the circles that I've got going on. So if I've got a circle here, I like to repeat a few circles. And I've continued the design down onto our inside flap, and it's just got a little tuck spot there actually, with a label, so we can actually write a name on this journal and tuck something in there. So for this one, I've just got a little pocket that I made out of a page out of a flower book, and I have a tag that I made last year sometime out of a paint swatch, and it's got a flower on it out of a magazine, and you can see that I've just done some doodling on it and some splatters and loaded it up. And it was from, the paint swatch was from Porter's Paints here, and then it's just got some gesso on the back and a little bit of ribbon on it. So I'm just going to slide that into there. That's a nice little hidden tag, and we'll slide that under our belly band, and that can sit in there. I have one library card left. I thought I counted correctly, but let's switch that one out because that's a bit white, and we'll slide that one in there. I like that better. And we'll save this one for another day. So let's close it up and see how chunky it is. Oh gee, it's nice, isn't it? Look how chunky that is. Oh yes, I'm pleased I added that extra gusset down the bottom here for the policy closure. And it's got a bit of weight to it actually. Let's wind that up. Oh yes, that's lovely. Look at that. It's full of treasures, hidden treasures that you can write hidden messages on everywhere. I didn't count how many interactive elements were in it and how many pockets were in it. Let me do that. Okay, I've just counted it, and interactive elements, it's got 8, and pockets, it's got 11, I think. And you might be thinking, Annie, what's your favorite page? Let me show you what my favorite page is. This page is my favorite page. This is very much my style. So a little bit more modern, but kind of a little bit grungy, intense color, and lots of tonal variation in light and shade. So that's what I like doing. So this is my favorite page. And then my next favorite page is this one because of the color saturation. So similar thing, it's a little bit more modern. It's not vintagey, and it's got light and shade in it. So they're my two favorite pages. So there we go. There's my Junk Journal Madness, a waterfall flip journal made out of a calendar. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love all of the interactive elements. I love how chunky it is. I love that there's lots of different examples in it of ideas. So a big thank you to Susan at iturtleyloveit for hosting this challenge, and a thank you to Polly at Charming Tabby for picking such a great theme for our first journal for the year. So it's flowers, and I really enjoyed doing it. So thank you to you both. There will be links to both their channels in my description if you're interested in finding out more about the challenge and participate in it for the months ahead. Okay, if you liked the journal and the video today, give it a thumbs up. That would be really appreciated. Leave a little comment below of which is your favorite page and whether you like the journal. Thank you very much for watching again and for your lovely comments. And I hope you're all having a wonderful week, finding some time to make something fun and new. And I will see you all very soon with another project. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.